Hey! Welcome to Hair Lock's Journey. Alright, let's get started on this lock mohawk. Alright, first you want to go in with a vision already in mind. In this case, I wanted my front section to be smaller and I wanted my middle section to be my fuller section. So make sure you keep that in mind when you're sectioning out the hair. Wherever you want fuller, you make that to be your bigger section. All right, so now I'm going to go in the back section now, and I'm going to secure that with a rubber band. Ensure that it's not too tight when you're putting on the rubber band because it can be unbearable if you do it too tight. You just need it to be anchored in place. We're going to move on to the second section now. And on the second section, we're pretty much just repeating the same procedure with securing that ponytail in place. Make sure it's not too tight, because if it's too tight, you're going to have little hairs getting caught inside that hair tie and cause unnecessary breakage in your roots, especially if it's not done on a freshly retwisted hair, in my case. All right, so I'm moving on to the top section now. Same procedure, just ensuring that it's not too tight, putting a hair tie over the section to secure it in place. I am only doing about 2 loops. My locks are full and thick, so the rubber band can't go over my hair too many times. Alright, so the area that I'm not going to be working on, I'm moving it out the way and starting in my back. So I take one lock and I fold it over to my desired size for lock pedal and I secure it with a rubber band. I move on to another lock and I repeat the same process, bend it over and secure it with a rubber band. Some people group these together. They group 3-4 locks together, especially if their locks are much smaller, and then they go in and kind of separate them out just by playing around with it. Okay, but I like to do mine's one lock at a time so I have more control. Some of my ends don't have lock pedals on them because I want it to have a wispy character to it. I'm now starting on the second section and doing the same procedure, which is grabbing one lock, bending it over and securing it with a rubber band. Now, once the rubber band is secure, that same lock, you just bend another section within that same lock and secure it. You follow through that entire process until all the lock is gone, unless you want some whiskey pieces left behind. All right, finally, we're doing the front section now, the final part. So bend it over and secure it with a rubber band. The vision that I have for the front is to have some loop fringes in the front mixed with the lock petals. So only some sections will have lock petals. All right, so once I created the amount of lock petals that I want, then I go in, creating a loop with each lock that I'm going to be creating my fringe with. This is going to be my desired length, so make sure the loop sits exactly where you want your fringe to end. After you bend it, you secure it with a rubber band. Move on to the next lock, create a loop. Once you create the loop and you have the desired length, then you go in and secure it with a rubber band. Make sure it's secured so it doesn't fall out of place. Each loop don't have to be the same length because you still have to go back in to secure with a hairpin to get your shape in place. I realize that I don't want a lot of loops, so I'm going back in now with some lock petals with the remaining locks. All right, so these are the final touches. Once your lock pedals are in, your loops are in, then you go in and shape based on your face shape, where you want things to land. You use a hairpin to secure it once you get the shape, and that's it. That is it. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. Please like, subscribe, and share. I'm tired. Jeez, I'm pissed.